Have you heard people talk about limiting beliefs and you wonder what that even really means? Well, let's talk about that today. So, a limiting belief is basically a belief that restricts us from achieving our goals. Now, it's a thought that was planted that we had at some point. Maybe it was because of an experience that we had, something that we saw, um, but it's something that we have accepted as truth, even if it's actually not. Now, sometimes limiting beliefs can be based upon facts, but that doesn't mean that it is something that we need to hold as true in our own lives. Because a limiting belief really keeps you from taking risks. It keeps you from trying new things. It keeps you from thinking outside of the box. And it can lead to a lot of self doubt and a lack of confidence, which really ultimately will prevent you from living your life to the fullest and reaching your full potential. I see limiting beliefs a lot with the clients that I work with who have experienced trauma, right? Because you've experienced something traumatic, dysfunctional, abusive, neglectful in your past, you learned that it wasn't safe, that there was something that was beyond your control, and you internalize that. And one experience can literally plant thousands of limiting beliefs. When we think about a belief system, right? So maybe, for my example, I'm a Christian, right? Although I respect and honor all faiths, my belief system is that because I believe in God and Jesus Christ, there's certain things that means for me. And there are lots of thoughts and actions that I take because of that belief system. If you have a lot of limiting beliefs in your belief system, that can overall impact every aspect of your life, from the way that you have relationships, the things that you do, the choices that you make, the successes that you'll ultimately have. So it's really important that if you're looking to reach a particular goal, you want to start a business, you want to get a promotion, you want to have just even a greater impact in your personal life or in your career, it's really important that you know what your limiting beliefs are and that you make a conscious effort to uproot them. I like to use the example of a limiting belief being a weed. If you have one weed in your yard, it's probably not a bad thing. You're not going to be happy with it, but it's not going to keep your grass from looking beautiful and plush. But if you have weeds all over the place, it really will choke out the grass. And so before you know it, you'll have these spots where the grass can't even grow, and all you'll have is a yard full of weeds. So you've got to make sure that you're consciously pulling those weeds up and then replacing those weeds with good seeds, right? So a limiting belief can be true, but that doesn't mean that it is. It may even be like a partial truth. So it's not like a complete lie, but it can be something that you internalize in a negative way. So let's say, for example, you grew up in a situation where you had a family member who started a business and they weren't successful. Small businesses fail all the time. So you saw that. You internalize that being your own boss is dangerous. Being your own boss prevents you from being successful. It's unstable. It can't produce financial wealth. So you internalize that as a limiting belief. So now as an adult, right, you're getting older, you have this passion, this interest, and you want to start a business of your own. But that limiting belief is really that you've had from that previous thought stops you every time you take a step forward. So what ends up happening is that you play small. You don't work on your goals. You even sabotage yourself, and you really most of the times feel bad. So if you want to work on limiting beliefs, it's important that you first identify them, but then you also find the ways to take action so that you can disprove them. I have an upcoming workshop called Stop Sleeping on Yourself. It is going to be recorded live next Tuesday or Saturday. So you have the option of either a weekday or a weekend to participate in this workshop. During this workshop, I'm going to work with you to help you identify the limiting beliefs that are currently disrupting your life. I'm going to help you figure out how to pull them up. And I'm going to show you how you can plant the seeds that will keep you going towards having the life that you actually dream of. The registration is open now, and I hope to see you in the room.